I've been working full time in the music industry for a few years now, and it feels like every week somebody asks me, Yo, Dan, how did you do this? What should I focus on? How do I become an entrepreneur and follow the same path as you? In today's video, I want to talk about how you can become a music entrepreneur and you can leave your 9 to 5 behind so you can focus on music full time. Are you ready? Let's go. Are you an artist, producer, engineer, or music professional that's looking for funding for your music career? Could you benefit from having funding for studio time, mixing and mastering, or even marketing costs? I think I have something for you. I've written a free ebook. It's 9 pages, super short and digestible, where I break down the 6 main places that artists and professionals like yourself can find funding for their musical projects. If this sounds like it's of value to you, please click the link below and you can download this for free today and benefit from this knowledge. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy 5Piece, producer and engineer extraordinaire. Thank you for checking out today's video, and if you haven't already, please hit the bell and subscribe button below to stay tuned for more helpful videos. I got a lot of amazing stuff on my channel, and I drop something new every single week, usually focused on recording and mixing and mastering, but also talking about business stuff like we are today. Now, in today's video, I want to talk about how you can become an entrepreneur in the music space. This is something I've been doing for the past 5 years, and for me personally, I just got into it kind of serendipitously. I was interning at a bunch of different studios, I was working with 40, I was just doing all these different things related to music, but I was really struggling to get by, and one day I decided, you know what, forget this stuff, I'm going to get a 9 to 5, and I literally got a marketing job, a 9 to 5, and earned my money. And I realized that I was equally as miserable doing that as I was working for free. Now, over the time that I was doing that, I realized, I got to get back to music. I got to give this all my love and attention. And I figured out a way to get back into the industry by working at a studio and eventually launching my own career and my own business. Now, I want to offer some insights to you that I've learned along the way. So let's start with the first point here. The first thing you want to do when you're going to set up your own business and become an entrepreneur is you want to identify your skill set and your expertise. You really want to figure out what is it that you do well and what is it that you could charge money for. A good way to figure this out is think, what do people come to you for already? Chances are you're working with a bunch of different people in music and they come to you for the same thing over and over, and maybe you're doing it for free, but if you find that certain things are coming up all the time, it might be a good idea to figure out how you can turn that into money and pursue this full time. So for example, if you're an engineer or an aspiring engineer and you find that artists are constantly coming up to you and asking you to mix their songs, maybe it's a good time to set up your business and offer mixing services to other people. The same applies if you're a songwriter. If you're really great at writing catchy songs and hooks and you're able to offer this to other people for free, you may actually be able to do it for some money. So figuring out this first is the critical step you need to take to launch your journey. After you've done that, you're going to want to create your offering. This is really just figuring out what can you offer to people for money. And typically when it comes to music, it's either a product or a service. Now, if you're an artist, your product is pretty simple. It's the song, it's the music. However, if you're a behind the scenes person, like a producer, you could offer things like sample packs, loops, and one-shots, and you could even offer beat leases and exclusives. If you're an engineer, you can offer templates, recording templates, mixing templates, and no matter what you do, if you have some expertise to offer, you can actually offer people educational products like courses, ebooks, guides, and much more. Now, on the service side, this is a little bit different. You're obviously going to be charging people to fulfill a specific service or requirement that they need. So with myself, for example, I'm an engineer and I offer recording, mixing, and mastering services to clients. If you're a producer, you may offer custom music production. If you're a songwriter, you'll offer songwriting. You can kind of see where this is going, but either way, you want to solidify your offer and make sure that you can give it to people so that you can actually get some money for it. The next thing you want to do is you want to create your ideal customer avatar. So really what this is it's the person that's going to buy your product or your service, and you want this to be the most ideal circumstances possible and very specific as well. So for example, as a mixing and mastering engineer, my ideal customer avatar is a recording artist that records their own music that needs help with mixing and mastering and making sure that their stuff sounds professional. I'm not going to offer my services to another mixing and mastering engineer because they don't need it. They do it themselves. Defining this customer is super important because it's going to let you know who is going to give you money for your product and help you identify how to target them specifically through your marketing and other things later. The other thing you want to do is you want to create your value proposition. This is the reason why someone is going to do business with you. And something you want to focus on is how is what you offer going to help the person buying it. If we actually look at my website for my mixing and mastering services, you're going to see specific language that I'm using. And something that I say to people is that you can stand out with music that sounds professional. Something else I like to say is you're going to feel more confident in your music and you're going to attract more fans. These are all specific things that people who come to my website are going to, look for. They're going to want by hiring me to mix their songs. And that's what I'm going to ultimately leave them with. And this is a really good reason to do business with me. So you got to figure out exactly why someone wants to do business with you and communicate that as clearly and as effectively as possible. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to confirm your operating expenses. So every business, it costs money to start and run. You're going to want to figure out what this is. And the reason why is you just want to know how much money you need to make every month to stay afloat. And more importantly, how much money do you need to make to be profitable? You don't want to just be guessing here. You want to really crunch the numbers and figure it out. And as you can imagine, when you're first starting out, I definitely recommend trying to keep your costs as low as possible. Now me, I don't have a whole lot of expenses. I rent my studio. I have a few softwares and plugins that I pay for on a monthly basis. But other than that, I don't have too much expenditures. Some other businesses, however, they have a lot of upfront capital that they have to spend. They have to buy warehouses and products and all kinds of stuff. Fortunately, in music, we don't really have that. We just have to make sure that we're equipped to do the job. So figuring out what you need to be equipped to do the job is very important, especially up front. And if you can do that, you're going to be in a really good position. The next thing you want to do is you want to determine your marketing plan. You've already identified your ideal customer avatar, but this part is focused on how are you actually going to get them to be aware of you and what you offer, whether it's a product or a service. So for example, you might find that you're trying to target artists that live in Ontario. You're going to want to find a way to hit them specifically. Maybe you can find a way to market to them online using social media like Instagram and Facebook. Or maybe you find that your ideal client, they're not online at all, and you have to find a way to get their information and send them mailers to their house or send flyers to their house. You might not even know them at all, but figuring out all these critical details is very important because then you're going to be able to determine what you need to spend on marketing and how you're going to get them to actually pay you for your service or even discover you in the first place. And the last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create your systems. When you're a solo entrepreneur, chances are you're doing everything yourself, and the problem with that is you basically own a job. Creating systems is going to allow you to free up some more of your time, work more efficiently, and ultimately create something that you can leverage in the future because, for example, if you were to hire somebody else, you need systems in order to get them to create a predictable product just like you. You may know all kinds of stuff and be executing things, but actually documenting it and creating manuals and stuff like that is going to allow you to create something that's repeatable and, more importantly, scalable. You don't want to own a job. You want to own a business that's going to inevitably work for you, and creating systems is the key to this. Now that applies to everything, whether it's creating your products, marketing yourself, onboarding new clients, anything, accounting, so many different ways systems apply, but systems are so important. And if you don't know, think about McDonald's. McDonald's, they're able to get somebody into their business that's 15 years old, that doesn't know a damn thing. They could start on cash, soon they're making fries, and after a couple of years, they might even be manager of the restaurant. You can't do that without having systems in place, and I hope that's a really helpful example for you. Now, these are my, big considerations here. I've definitely missed a few things, but I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please hit the bell and subscribe button below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you liked, and I hope I can help you again in the very near future. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
5,